Hi class, today we are going to write a program that will calculate resistance of a few resistor when they are connected in parallel. Of course, first thing you need to know is the formula to calculate parallel resistance. If you have learned physics or electrical engineering, you will know that this is the base formula for calculating parallel resistance. 1 over R total equal to 1 over R1 or resistor 1 add with 1 over R2 or resistor 2 add 1 over R3 and so on. But in computing, we can assign to 1 over variable, meaning we need to actually use RT in our C code like this. Means our calculation is for R total, which is equal to 1 over the summation of the inverse of every resistors. So we want to do this as command line, means the user will be giving input to our code at command line, which means the input is already available to our application or our software even before our software or our program actually running. You can see here there are three resistors with value 3 ohms being given to be calculated as parallel resistors to this program. So this is what we mean by command line parameter. The input that is given right after we key in the program name. This is actually an alternative to using scanf in our program. And when the user click the enter key, our program will make the calculation and print the output something like this. So in this case, 3 ohms resistor connected as parallel, the net resistance or the total resistance will be 1 ohm. When doing programming with command line parameter, you need to know a few built-in variable that is given to our program as parameter to our main function. The first variable is argc. It is an integer variable. The value of argc is the number of command that we enter at command line. So in this case, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4 token entered at command line, we have the value of argc as 4. And the second variable that is given to us is actually an array of argv corresponding to argc. In our case here, argc is 4. The array argv will start with index 0 and end at index 3. So you should know that an array is a variable that keeps many same type data, and each of the data in the array is accessed using index 0, 1, 2, 3. So in this case, if we key in our program argv0, we will get parallel as string. Argv index 1, it is a string of 3, not number 3, but string of 3. The same goes to argv2, argv3. So in this case, we need to get the value as array, and keeping in mind that the array is array of string, we have to convert the string to double or integer depending on our calculation. Let us start our coding. Alright, start your Visual Studio console application. This is what we get after the code is auto-generated by Visual Studio. The first thing that we need to add in the default program given by Visual Studio is to add the argument or parameter to the main function so that it can accept command line parameter. Those parameters are integer argc, which represents the number of token that has been entered to run this program. You can recall from the slide before, what is the meaning of this? The next one is argv, which is a pointer to character or char, argv, and it is an array of pointer to character. But actually the meaning here, it is an array of string. This concept is being carried forward from C concept. The first thing you need to do in command line programming is that to fetch the parameter that's given to your program at command line, you need to declare a few string variable. In this case, because we do not know how many resistors that is going to be given to us, we only declare one string variable to fetch each resistor. And before that, don't forget that you need to include string in your project. Open stdafx.h, include string, the one without .h. Save it. You can straight away close it. Then string. Or actually in this case, because we don't include standard namespace, we have to put std : string. Let's say we call the resistor as rx, and because we want to use this variable to fetch the resistor value one by one, we don't initialize it, but we are going to give the value inside a for loop. For loop. This for loop is going to loop through the given resistor value from index 1, not index 0, but index 1 of argv. And right after the program is running, we can tell how many resistors are given to us because we can tell it from the value of argc. So we can declare a variable, the loop parameter c. We don't want to start at 0, but we want to start at 1 because argv0 is the program name itself. We don't want the program name. We want the value of resistor that follows the program name. And argc, the number of resistance value given to us, plus 1. So we can put the limit for C as less than or equal to argc minus 1. And to get the next resistor, of course, we start by C++. That is the for loop header. Then in the body of the for loop, we assign to the string of rx. Okay, before I forget, we better tell that this is a string by putting character str within the variable name itself. So we assign rx str with the string of argv index c. This will be a string. Then we need to convert the string to double, to number. So we need to have another variable rx dbl, double. This one, we need to convert rx string to double. The conversion function is string to double, which is stored. It is not listed in the IntelliSense because we need to put std : to tell that this is coming from standard namespace. So we give the value of variable rx string. So obviously we need to declare rx double as double. Then we need to accumulate the value of 1 over rx that is being added as parallel resistor. We need to accumulate the value of 1 over rx into 1 over arc total. So we call it arc total inverse at equal with 1 over Rx dBl. So obviously you can see we have problem here. We need to declare arc total as double. We have to initialize it as 0. That is it. The calculation is quite simple. Just now, this value, the accumulation is not R total, but the inverse of R total. So when we want to print, we have to print F total parallel resistance equal to %F, new line, and match the %F with 1 over RT inverted. Save this, rebuild solution, then open command prompt to test it. So let us run. So this folder is having our executable. Let's run it. Just by typing parallel, what happened? It gives INF because actually this is infinity because we didn't give any resistance value. So let's try parallel 3, 3, 3. We get 1 ohm. 3 ohms parameter, 3 ohms resistor connected in parallel. The total resistance is 1 ohm. Maybe we want to drop 4 decimal point, leave only 2 decimal point. We can edit our code by putting dot 2, save it, rebuild, run again. We get less decimal point. Try with a few other value, 1 and 2. We get 0.67. I suppose this is correct. So that is it. Calculating parallel resistance using command line parameter. And remember, command line parameter is just an alternative way to get input instead of using scanf. Because we are using command line parameter, we don't need scanf anymore. If we use scanf, there's no point to use command line parameter. But command line parameter will make the process of using the program is faster because we don't have to press enter so many times like when we use scanf.